Hello and welcome to episode 37 of the Crafty Boys. Technology sucks balls, and we're drinking sour beers. How could this night get any worse? My name is Shane. I'm in Vancouver. That's on the west coast of Canada, in case you're international. That's the best place to live in this country. And there's some people that live elsewhere, so introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Alan. I'm in Victoria.
And he has better lighting!
I have a fern, too, or something, whatever this is. It's some sort of a plant. It's greenery. So I have that.
It's like between two ferns, only not.
Right, so I'm getting like oxygen here. So I should be a little bit smarter.
Well, that's how it works.
Oh, just a second, guys. Our studio audience is just filing in now. Okay, if you guys could applaud, please, like you do normally.
And Locke has joined a second time tonight. Actually, a third time. How's it going, Locke? Your internet connection is worse than ours.
So what should be a dedicated connection through Rogers in Ontario is doing such a bad job that I finally decided to give up and use the mobile hotspot on my BlackBerry just to see if that worked, and it seems to be working fine.
Jeez.
That is messed up.
Yes.
So, how's it going, boys? How's your week been? What fancy and cool things have you guys been getting up to? Locke, you have a story to tell.
Yeah, I've been running around in Europe. London, Faro, Portugal, Albufeira, Portugal, and Lisbon, back to London, and then out to Ontario, which is where I am now.
Cool.
Very cool.
I have to report, in most of Portugal, craft beer is not really a thing. If you're ordering beer in Portugal, generally speaking, it's basically down to cerveza, por favor. And the distinction that you will be qualifying as to what kind of cerveza you're getting, you will be getting a small cerveza or a large cerveza. I never learned the proper Portuguese for large, so I would just go cerveza, cerveza.
So that's kind of weird that they are so incredibly limited in their
Not everywhere.
services. That's unusual.
I did dig and dig and dig. And, one place in Lisbon where there actually is a craft brewery. The scheme by which they offer their product is a little weird. They just have letters like A, B, C, D, E, F to designate the different types of beer they offer. I kept going with, I think it was C, which is their stout, which was awesome. Now, I understand that Dave was talking about sours. Their stout, this craft Portuguese Lisbon stout, had a definite sour note to it. Not a bad sour note, I mean a good sour note.
Okay.
So
cool.
yeah, not a Guinness lookalike. It was a kind of a slightly different beer, and one that I would drink again, given the opportunity.
Cool.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm totally jealous. Well, Dave was the one who picked the beers this week, he picked sour as our theme.
No, I did not pick the theme.
You didn't.
Alan actually suggested the theme.
Well, actually, we had a special guest last week, and that was Mike
true.
Hardy, and he suggested that we do a sour.
This is true. This is true. So if you're out there listening, Mr. Vardy, this is your fault. Now let me explain. Now the reason it's Dave's fault is that he chose a sour that none of us could get.
Wait a minute. How did this go from my fault to Dave's fault?
Because Dave lives in the sticks, and apparently they don't serve anything except old sour, stale beer that they've kept over the season, and that nobody wants to buy it because the refined taste of Campbell River, not Campbell River. Well, I guess Campbell River. Black Creek, BC, is basic. Well, you know, who really wants to live there? I mean, honestly, we just a bunch of
insane.
Wow.
What was it? Zip heads and wasteoids.
Lobos and zip heads.
Lobos and zip heads. Yeah, Locke, you missed the Back to the Future episode. I think. Were you gone already? I think you were gone already. We reacquainted ourselves with some of the wordage, the quotes and things. Anyway, moving on to the beer. So, Dave, did you want to start off with the beer that you chose that you wanted us to get, but we were unable to find?
Yes. I got Old Abbey Sour Raspberry.
Old Abbey Sour Raspberry.
It smells
now, where's that from?
Old Abbey is based out in Abbots Ford, hence Old Abbey.
Old Abbey.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Indeed. So,
cool,
and
cool.
this is the funny thing. So, Alan, you're gonna have to fill me in because Alan's going off about not getting fucking seasonals, and I said, well, this guy that I had help me find the frickin' beer, he said nothing about seasonal. So.
Well, I'm only assuming that it's a seasonal because I went to the Old Abbey Ales website, and that particular beer is not listed in their current beer selection. So, which means it's either really, really, really new, or it's really, really, really old.
Well, you know what they say about assumptions, Alan.
Now, what's interesting though, I did read a review online about that particular beer that was only published about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So somebody else was trying it very recently. So it could be that they're just in between batches right now. When I went to my local place, or I went to a few places, I talked to somebody and they said that it's a very popular beer. People really liked it. They're sold out of it, and they are unable to get any more right now.
Oh wow,
punks.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're
up here.
I don't know if they're unable to because it's a seasonal and it's just not available right now, or if they are back ordered or what.
Right.
So I don't know what the story is with that, but at any rate, none of the places here in Victoria had it.
Unfreaking believable.
What did you end up getting, Alan?
I ended up getting Dageraad's DeWitt, which is from Burnaby. Now this beer, a reason why I chose it is because it placed in the BC Beer Awards, which occurred about a week and a half ago, in the sour category. This particular beer won 3rd place.
Okay.
So it was one that looked interesting, that has maybe got a little bit of substance behind it, and so I was interested to try it. I'm interested in trying the other ones as well, but this one, well, it was available, so I got it.
Well, have you guys opened your bottles already? I'm seeing some opened bottles there.
I've opened mine.
Mine is open.
I have not poured it, and I have not tasted it.
I picked up the Powell Street Amarillo Sour. It's an ale, and I'm interested to try this one. So I'm gonna, of course, take out my penis and open this sucker up. Oh wow! After I opened it up, that is a strong smell. Wow! I opened it up and it was just like hit me in the face. All right, so I'm gonna do my pour. Have you guys done your pour yet?
No, not at all.
No,
All right, so get your glasses up there. Of course, Dave's like, I already poured mine out.
I did not already pour mine out, punk.
Well, show.
It's really light. It's almost like 7-Up.
Really? Mine's a like a light, almost red ale-ish.
Yeah, mine's kind of like a rosé almost.
So, Locke, of course, you being Ontario, you were not made aware of the whole desire to have sours this evening. What did you find in your local store there?
So what I'm drinking right now is a seasonal product, Muskoka Brewery's Harvest Ale. The Big Bad 7%er, malty. I would show you the pour, and I'm going to do that right now. Yeah, I gotta say it's a damn tasty product. Given that I just finished pouring that one and am now out of it, I'm going to open something else from another brewery who I visited in person on location in Barrie. Now, how many of you have been to Barrie, Ontario?
You only ever go to Barrie, Ontario once.
I've been there.
Okay, all right. So you have actually been to Barrie, Ontario. Nice. So they are called the Flying Monkeys.
Mm. Oh.
And the product I'm drinking is called Optical Illusion, and almost pale ale.
I've seen this beer locally.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
the label.
So they've got some reach then.
Yeah.
And what can I say? It's hoppy. It's a 5%, so not beer.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? The Flying Monkeys guys have, they've kind of laid down the gauntlet of being a cross-Canada beer by a recent special edition number they released. I'm trying to remember the name. It's not really coming to me right now. But then again, that's what happens when you have too many flying monkeys. The tenor of it, though, was that it's a big bomb, and they called it something like the Cross Canada Ale, something like that. I have to say, I didn't buy one, mostly because just the general description of it seemed dull as can be, and But I mean, is that what internationally Canadians come across as? I think that's about to change. I think the days of hair helmet and boring nerd prime minister are happily behind us, and now we've got a guy who's about to in a street try to legalize marijuana, and Lord knows what the hell Justin Trudeau is going to be about. But the product, I mean, you know what his parents were like.
That's true. I think we all remember what his parents were like.
I mean, so there's a good chance that he's the son of Pierre Trudeau. There's also a dim possibility that he might be the son of Keith Richards. So we'll see what happens.
He does kind of look like Keith Richards more than his dad.
Rumors.
I don't see a lot of Keith Richards in there yet. I'm hoping for some.
We'll have to wait for about 40 years and a lot of marijuana later. So I'm going to try my beer. This is the Imperial Sour from Powell. I'm kind of curious about it, so here we go. Whoa, that's out. Yeah! That is not bad. I gotta say, I am impressed.
It's amazing.
This
It's amazing how sour
Which-
beers are making a comeback.
Which product is this that you're just offering praise to?
The Amarillo Sour from Powell Street Craft Brewery,
Powell Street. Okay.
who are in Vancouver. I think they're in, I want to say Surrey, but maybe not. Hang on. They're on, sorry, what am I saying? They're on Powell Street in downtown Vancouver. What's in this beer? I don't understand. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what's in that beer. Wild yeast and bacteria.
And apparently, this is part of their kettle series, for their kettle sour series. This light sour ale showcases the souring power of lactobacillus. Why, I can't say that. And the great flavors and aromas of Amarillo hops. This ale is tart and refreshing with flavors and aromas from apricot, peach, melon, and citrus. And possibly the sweat from Paul Rubens' butt. Actually, no, I take that back. This is actually damn. I gotta say, I have an appreciation for sours because Locke has exposed me to several, and I gotta say this is actually not bad. I like the light part of it. I mean, I've had some sours that are really sour, which kind of distract away from the rest of the flavor.
Imperial Sour being the sourest, yes?
Mm. And it kind of distracts away from the rest of the beer, but I gotta say I like it. I'm impressed. Thumbs up, Powell Street.
I'm really liking the DeWitt from Dageraad. This is actually a really nice beer. It's really light. It's tart, but not too tart. I've actually, to be honest, I've never really paid attention to sours all that much. But since they're making like a huge comeback, I decided to do some reading up on them and find out what sours are all about. So I was interested to learn that at one point, way back when they were making beer, many decades
ago,
pretty much every single beer was a sour. In that things weren't all that sanitary, and bacteria was allowed to grow, and wild yeast was used. And then over time, as we started sanitizing things, sour beers kind of went to the wayside. So in making these sour beers, exactly what we're doing is introducing wild yeast and bacteria, which the brewing process can take months, even up to a year, to occur. So that's why these things, they seem to be a lot more expensive than a regular beer. I saw one sour that looked really good on the shelf. It was a strawberry sour. I can't remember where it was from. But
Wasn't Cascade, was it?
Yeah, I think it was. And it was $33 a bottle.
Yeah, I saw some in my store too. Same thing.
Yeah. And I was like, ooh, I'd really like to try that. But I don't really want to spend $33 to try that. So I think I'll leave that one for another day after I've won the lottery.
Yeah,
but it explains why these things cost so much, just because of the amount of time it takes to actually brew these beers, and there's so much that can go haywire with it as well. I mean, it's kind of risky. But anyway, it's really good. I really like it. How do you like yours, Dave? Oh, yeah.
So the term sour is getting thrown around a lot right now, and it describes, pretty accurately the fact that the beers tend to be acidic. Yeah. But are we talking about, like, when we're talking about the style of brewing, are these lambics, or are they sort of like similar in property to lambics but different?
I think they're similar in property to lambics. They're not exactly. I mean, again, there's a few different kinds, right? So, who was the maker of that Imperial one that we had?
The Storm Imperial Sour? Yeah. So Storm Brewery. I don't know about a product from Storm besides their Imperial Sour,
Okay.
which I have to say is a favorite of mine. B, available more places than you would expect given what an ass kicker it is. Because I'll tell you, it's not an easy drink. Like it's not one of those ones where somebody who's they like their bud and they're going to try this and go, well, I'll maybe have one of those. No, this is like it's like drinking vinegar. It's really sour, and the percentage ranges from like 11 to 14%.
Jeez.
Holy.
Wow. That's huge.
That is amazing.
I've seen a color gradient from all the way from dark brown to a sort of a crimson red on these. So not every batch is identical. Which goes to what Alan was saying about how this is a volatile product. I mean, when you're playing with wild yeasts and bacterial strains, you get sometimes odd results.
Now, interestingly, this is timely with us doing this podcast today with the sours, but apparently, just today, Phillips has released a sour of their own. Now, this is interesting because I know we all are big fans of whatever Phillips does, so this is something I totally want to try.
Look, Dave, you hearing the same thing I am?
The Cylons have fucking
Okay, I'm making sure. Sorry, keep going, Alan. It's hilarious to listen to you talk right now.
Oh my!
You sound like the Cylon had sex with a stormtrooper.
Awesome.
No,
wait,
you know what?
Alan, do that again.
No, exterminate. Alan, say exterminate. Exterminate. Yeah, like that's what he sounds like.
Centurion, secure the Dalek.
Exterminate.
Alan, tell me to relax and go zen.
Relax and go zen.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Just all of a sudden, at the beginning of that sentence earlier, you started signlining, and I was sitting there going, "It'll stop soon. It'll stop soon," but it didn't stop. And I'm like, "Dave logged you in." Okay, it's on. That is awesome.
Okay, so Phillips has released a Thorny Thorn Sour Raspberry Brown Ale. That's a lot to swallow right there.
Is it $33 a bottle?
It doesn't say.
Probably not. No. And it's only going to be sold at private liquor stores, which is kind of weird.
Oh, really?
And it says that it is frothy bubble gum and puckeringly dry.
Oh yes, right there.
So I'm impressed. I'm looking forward to this one.
So I'm definitely going to try that one, maybe even this weekend. We'll see.
Alan, one last one. Say, we are superior beer drinkers.
We are superior beer drinkers.
Okay. We are superior beer drinkers. You'll be exterminated, and you smell like
inevitable.
And it is inevitable. Yeah, go.
Assimilation is inevitable.
Resistance is futile. Assimilation is inevitable. Take me to sector 001. Your technology and culture will be made to service us.
Nice.
Wow, that is so awesome.
So if I'm going to sound like this for the rest of the podcast,
probably, or hopefully not, but we'll see.
I might just stay quiet from now on.
So I want to hear about Dave. We talked a lot about the sour experience, but Dave, the sour that you've got, tell me more about that one, because I think it's the last one that we haven't really spoken about.
Well, I can't say that I'm honestly a Monster fan. This is the first one I've ever had, so unlike you guys, this is not something I've been exposed to before, so that's
Okay.
kind of the part of what's going on for me. But, having said that, I do like it too, and I think I would get used to it. It's very different. It's almost, I don't know, it makes me think of like a wine, actually.
Okay.
A little bit of a red wine. And the other thing I think about with this one is, you know how we're always talking about how you'll pick up these supposed fruit-flavored beers of whatever flavor, and you might smell it, and you might get a bit of a taste of it on the first swig, and then it just disappears, if that, you know. But this one is really nice. You actually get the raspberry full on. So that's cool. And it's lighter. I think the guy, this was something, Alan, to add to what you're saying earlier, a little bit about how these things are made. What the guy who helped me pick this one out, he told me apparently you got your kettle sours and you got your barrel sours. And apparently the barrel sours are full on in your face, kick you in the balls, sour. Like Locke was talking about, you're almost drinking vinegar with those sours. So for me, it's been interesting as well, learning more about how this particular beer is made and stuff like that. So I think I would drink more of this. I would give this another shot. I would. It's sort of, it's throwing me off a little bit because it's a new flavor, but I am enjoying it too. It's quite nice. It's light, and it's not kick you in the balls, which is good because I don't think I would enjoy that at all. But it's definitely got a bit of a sour. You know,
I rate my beers on just how much I feel that I don't want to be kicked in the crotch. Ah, darn it, Alan's not stylining anymore.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, cool.
Shitty.
Because what I was going to say is I did read, when I was reading up on sours, one brewer had mentioned that, you know, one of the reasons why sours are making a comeback right now is because the brewers feel unchallenged. They've been dealing with hops so much. I mean, they've inundated us with IPAs and all that kind of stuff. And it's not that they feel that they've necessarily mastered, you know, hops, but they kind of want to feel challenged and do something that's a little bit different. And that's where the sours are coming in, and that's why they're becoming so popular. And why there's such a huge range of flavors when it comes to sour beers, just because there's so, like, any beer, any type of beer can be turned into a sour. It's just how you go about doing it.
Mm.
Yeah. Dead air.
Dead air.
All right.
Resistance is futile.
With you. Okay. On the call on how you go about doing it. So, the Duchess. You remember the Duchess? Because I did it. We did an episode of the Duchess. Yeah. So that's as refined a process as I've seen with that sort of end of the flavor spectrum. Right. And what they're doing there is they're taking the same product at two different stages of its development and mixing it, which is you know, kind of some that's some serious alchemy when you start taking, like, the same thing and then doing it two different ways and then putting it back together to create your end result. I don't think I've seen anything that advanced in terms of technique on the West Coast yet. I'm hoping that that's going to change and that people are going to start playing around with that kind of thing. Because I think that's a frontier that needs to get explored a little more. Because I got to tell you, the Duchess is, to me, that's some exciting beer.
I think that's my favorite. I think that's my favorite of all the stuff we've done so far.
Cool.
And we've actually done quite a bit. I mean, if you think about it, this is episode 37, and some episodes like tonight's, we've done like more than one beer. So I would say we've probably done about 50 beers.
Yeah, I would say that's about right because we've had 3 or 4 beers, say on what, 10, 20 of the videos maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So just because we couldn't find the right one, or or Locke was doing his pours repeatedly and he ran out, and we'll have something new. I gotta say, that pour, sir, was impressive.
I have one last story for my European exploits.
To
regale you with. So there was a birthday party I attended while I was in London, and me and an old friend of mine. She was one of the people involved in Creation Records back in the day. So we got to a certain point of the evening with a mutual friend of ours, actually her ex-husband, who doesn't drink anymore. And I had been actually at that point starting to sort of seriously contemplate, why do I drink at all? Because, there is a certain point you get to where it's sort of like, what is this doing differently for me that ultimately is of some kind of merit or benefit, or like I've done this before. I've been down this road. I've had this experience.
Right.
And then he got up and left because he was feeling tired, and me and my mutual friend, or me and the girl that I knew, his ex-wife, started. Well, I guess something must have happened. We reverted to former teenage selves, and we started mind sweeping. Are you familiar with the concept of mind sweeping?
No.
It
sounds dangerous.
That's where you cruise the bar for unattended beers that seem to have been left and forgotten about, and nobody's coming back for them.
Oh.
So at the end of utterly trashed, hanging out at this point at a different bar because we closed the first one down. Now hanging out at a new bar, and I discovered, much to my horror, that what are the kids doing these days? They're rediscovering grunge.
What?
Yeah, so I'm in a bar listening to "Smells Like Teen Spirit," having just mind swept the entire area.
Wow. How do you rediscover grunge? That came out like last year.
I know, totally.
So if you're looking for a reason to grow up and not drink anymore, that's probably it. But what can I say? It was fun.
Where did you do this?
This was in London, England. This was in Camden Town.
Nice.
Sweet. Wow.
I have something I have to try now in Victoria. Actually, Locke, or sorry, not Locke, Alan, what did we drink on the weekend? I can't remember now. I brought it. Oh, Blue Buck. It was Blue Buck beer.
Yes.
Did we find it enjoyable still?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Cool. It was fine. It was fine. Dave, on the weekend, I didn't see you in Victoria. I don't know where the hell you were, but how was your weekend?
I was probably working.
It was Halloween this weekend. Did anybody get any Halloween?
Kind of what I'm driving at. So you did nothing from. I'm trying to get some Halloween stories from people here, Dave.
Halloween stories.
Did you get any kids to your house trick or treating?
0.
Did you get free
Because
candy at
far
least?
as I know.
candy and didn't turn your light on?
Well, honestly, I don't know because I worked until 8 o'clock, so the kids are done
Ah,
by
yeah.
that
Okay.
point.
Mm.
Because
All right, fair
today
enough.
kids are pussies, and as soon as it starts getting dark, they go home.
Yeah.
So,
Because they're pussies.
not like in my day, God damn it, we'd be out until midnight doing our best to get every last
Knocking on
scrap of
people's door.
fucking Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
Um,
If a kid came to my door at even as late as 9 o'clock, I tell them to get bent.
because you're eating all this candy is
Yeah, exactly. After 8 o'clock, the leftover candy is mine.
Locke, where were you for Halloween this past weekend? Were you actually in Ontario already? Or?
I'd just gotten back. Yeah, it was a pretty quiet Halloween. I didn't dress up. I had candy for the kids at the door. Didn't get a lot of kids showing up. That's fine. You know what? It's a weird thing, but I get the impression that trick-or-treating is one of those things that's sort of phased out a little bit. I think part of it is in the age of like suicide bombers and terrorism. Everybody's sort of a little bit scared of trick-or-treaters or something.
Yeah, because those Taliban leap out of candy boxes all the time.
You know what? I don't know if that's true. I think I used to live in a townhouse complex where there was a lot of medium density stuff, and I would get habitually between 200 and 300 kids on Halloween.
Holy cow.
Where I live right now in a house in a fairly low density area, we got 15. I think what it is a lot of people truck their kids to those medium density places that's safe, where all the homes are really close together, so they don't have to walk as far. There's not as much traffic, and there's just a lot more people around. So I think that's kind of the draw, and I think people are kind of taking their kids to those areas.
Well,
So you did, yeah, Alan. I don't recall. Did you dress up as anything?
I did a little bit. I mean, I have my Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Right.
My Darth Vader helmet, which is like made from like the movie molds, and then I don't have anything else to go along with it. So I just put that on, and I wear all black. I wish I had the rest of it, because the rest of it would look really cool.
Nice.
And I dressed up as Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, awesome.
So I had a bathrobe and a towel. And the reason for that was that this past weekend I was actually on the day of Halloween. I was at a funeral in Victoria for Travis Corey, who passed away a few weeks back, and his funeral / sail away, as it was called. It was quite cool because there was a treasure chest that was opened up, and it held small biodegradable bags of his ashes that we all got to throw into the ocean while we were standing at Fisgard Lighthouse. And singing, his request was that we all sing at that time the Monty Python song, oh my God, The Bright Side of Life,
on the bright
from
side.
The Life of Brian. So that was interesting. That was kind of cool. I enjoyed it, and it was fun because there were a lot of people. Most of the people there were dressed up. They were not, they weren't there to mourn his passing, but more of sort of probably the first time that I've ever heard somebody say, "Oh well, we should celebrate somebody's passing rather than mourn them," and that was probably the first experience ever where I actually saw a bunch of people doing that. So yeah, it was great. It was a good experience.
I got a lot of respect for that.
And yeah, so it was kind of fun. And then I went and drank beer at Alan's house. With a brief stopover to visit Todd, who unfortunately his children, or his eldest, was ill and was very upset that he couldn't go trick-or-treating. But he was the one apparently who said, "I'm going to go to bed." So yeah, there you go.
Cool.
So that was my adventure of the week. Anything else to relay to the fine audience? Zababa?
What?
I'm good.
Oh, he's good.
All right.
I'm running out of beer here. I think we need to go on a beer run.
Yeah, so am I. So, well, we give a thumbs up to all of the sours that we've had on the show today. We've had, of course, hold up your bottles again, boys. We've had, of course, the Amarillo Sour from Powell Street Brewery. We've also had the Old Abbey Ale Sour Raspberry and the Dageraad DeWitt. And, of course, Locke had the Hoptical Illusion and something else he drank really fast. I can't remember what it's called. What's right there? The Muskoka Brewery Harvest Ale. So we give a thumbs up to all of those beers because we've enjoyed them all. And we'll just say next week I don't know what the theme is, but we'll get some beer that'll be great.
Yay!
Bye!